Hey friends, it's time for math, and today we are going to practice subitizing. Do you remember what that word means? Subitizing? Turn to the person that you're working with right now if you remember what subitizing means and tell them. Good job. Subitizing means being able to recognize the amount in a set without having to count individually. Like, I know I have 3 objects in my hand, but I did not count them individually. So we are going to practice this today. So what you are going to need are 10 manipulatives, 10 little objects. If you have the math bag that Mrs. Lane made you, you have 10 objects in there. So I want you to go and get that right now. And if you don't have it, that is okay. You can find 10 objects around your house. Maybe you have some cereal or some beans, or maybe you have toy cars, Legos, anything that is little that you can just move around, okay? So pause this video right now and go get your supplies. All right, you have everything? Perfect. So we are going to set our 10 objects down on the table, just like this. And what we're going to do is we are just going to grab a handful and we're going to set it down. And without counting, you are going to make a guess for how many it is. I'm going to guess that there's 3, okay? I'm going to guess that there's 3 bears. So then after I have my guess in my head, you can write it down if you would like to keep it fresh, okay? But once I have my guess, then I'm going to actually count. So we are going to take our finger and we're going to count our objects. 1, 2. All right, I guessed 3 and the actual number is 2. And we can take a moment to think about our words more and less. So if I guessed 3 and the actual amount is 2, did I guess a number that is more or less? Think about it. Draw a number line if you need to. I guessed 3 and the objects were 2. Which one is greater, 2 or 3? Which one has more, 2 or 3? 3. So 3 is more than 2. And I guessed that there were 3. Then that means that I guessed a number that was greater than the amount, okay? So we're just going to be thinking about that as we do this over and over and over again, okay? So watch me again. We have our pile and we grab an amount. We set it down. And without counting, I'm going to guess I have 3. Now I take my finger and I count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I guess that there were 3 and there's actually 4. I know that 3 is less than 4. So I guessed a number that was less. Let's do it one more time. I'm gonna guess that there's 5. I'm gonna guess that there's 5 in this set. All right, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so I guessed that there's 5, and then I counted, and there's 5. So I got a number that is the same. Do you remember that we can do that? We have greater than, less than, and equal to. So if it's the same, it is equal to, okay? So I want everyone to take some time and practice our subitizing just like this. Grab a handful, put it down, guess, count, compare. See if it's greater than, less than, or equal to. And I want you to have the person that you're working with record you doing this a few times so Mrs. Lane can see how well you do it, okay? I cannot wait to see y'all subitize. Awesome work, friends. Hey friends, before you get started on your own activity, I wanted to take a moment so we could talk about strategies for subitizing. Remember the last time we talked about subitizing and we did a lot of things with dice and the patterns that they had on them to help us recognize numbers? Well, I know that these are not dice, so they're not going to fall into those diagonal lines and boxes and things like that, but we can still use our strategies because we did a lot of practice on our spiral review, our numeracy talks, where the dots were in different orders, right? So one strategy we can use is grouping. The easiest one to group is 2. So if you have a pile like this, in your mind, you can draw circles around groups of 2. So in your mind, you're pairing them up, just like that. So you're not actually touching them, you're not actually moving them, but in your mind, you're making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 2. And then we just have to do 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. And we can do that. We can do that all on our finger. We can do 2 plus 2 plus, I only have one hand right now, but you understand it. It's just adding 2 at a time. So if I had these like this, if I had those like that, this is my set I'm needing to subitize. They're spaced out, they're different colors and different shapes, but I can subitize. I know that there's 2 right here and 2 right here, and 2 plus 2 is 4 without counting. Or you look at the ones that are in a line and you see that there's 3, and then it's 3 plus 1 is 4. Or you could also do it by color. You know that you have 2 green, 1 red, and 1 blue. So 2 plus 1 plus 1. In your mind, you can do 2, 3, 4. Are there any other strategies that we can think of for subitizing? I think that's all that I have. If you think of another one, comment and let me know, and I will share it with the rest of the class, okay? Y'all are doing awesome, and I'm so proud of y'all.